Well, as you can see, I bought a few bits. I didn't buy too much, to be fair. I bought things I probably thought I was going to use, rather than going over the top and buying loads of things that I probably wouldn't, let's be honest. Main things that I went for were sort of everyday sundry stuff. Tungsten putty. Can you ever have too much tungsten putty? You know, forever losing this stuff. To be fair, apparently it's going to stick particularly well, according to the label. So we'll see on that one. I'll get that out in a second. And then went with coated braid. I love coated braid, but I'll be honest, I hate the way it kinks and stuff. So again, heard good things. I've gone for the 18-pound blend and I hope it's soft enough to use in things like bags and short rigs. And then I've gone for the 35 and I hope it's a little bit stiffer, you know, but not too stiff. I like to have stuff that's sort of still supple enough to feel the contours of the bottom of the lake. So we'll see how those go. And something I don't use very often at all, but just joined a new syndicate. They allow it. I'll be honest, I used to love it back in the day, and that's lead core. So I've gone for some lead core. Apparently very good for splicing. So probably going to have to watch some videos on that just to get myself up to speed. Maybe I'll do a tutorial once I'm there myself. Again, nice looking packaging. Again, I bought hooks. Integral part of fishing, but I don't tend to buy the branded hooks. I'm more than happy usually to go for a lower quality hook and sharpen it myself. But do you know, I've heard a lot about these. Found the pattern quite interesting. Really wanted to have a little looky at them. I missed Ali. He was at Norwich not so long back. Completely missed the day. I was way too busy with work. But thought I'll give those a whack. So next on, do a bit of unboxing, show you the products, take some stills, and give you a bit of a review. Cool. So start having a look at these hooks. Now, I'll be honest, the reason I don't normally worry too much with going through big brands, they just seem really expensive, probably for similar things. I'm just not convinced yet by it, I'll be honest. These have had a massive load of raving across social media at the minute. Good marketing, I've bought some. To be fair, for me, it was the pattern. I'm a real fan of the curved shank. But this just seems to add a little bit extra. I mean, you know, taking them out of the packet, again, well packaged. Probably if it was me, let's have them so they're not just loose, they're not blunting each other off inside, but you know, that's just a point for me. First off, whoa, let's have a look at that. Probably not going to focus in particularly well. Looks pretty good. Really nice pattern actually. Really love the curve on that. I'll take some stills so you can see them. Really like the inturned eye as well. So you can just imagine that with a little bit of shrink tubing just to extend that, or even maybe on a German rig. That's going to be brilliant. Again, the barb, you're probably not going to see it, but it's really understated. It's a little tiny barb. I'm not one for huge barbs. I equally don't like barbless, to be honest. I like the hook to go in and just stay in one place. So just to see a small barb on there, I think it's hopefully going to be just enough. We will tell. But yeah, no, overall, pretty good. I mean, they're sharp. Probably could be sharper, I'll be honest. But for now, you know, they look like they do the business. So yeah, looking forward to getting those out and giving those a try and see what we get. Right, moving on, we've got lead core, gravel brown. Again, do like it. Again, on the back, it's the fact they're using less plastic. We will see. We'll get opening and see what it's there. Again, nice little take me into battle quote on the bottom. Yeah, looks good. What have we got? Cool. So yeah, plastic reel. Comes out perfectly fine. I mean, that is pretty rigid lead core, let's be honest. It's got a nice sort of coating to be fair as well. I mean, I don't know whether you can see that, probably not particularly, but yeah, really lovely woven mixed texture, sort of at least 2-3 colour strands through that. So, you know, you can imagine that sitting across some gravel. Yeah, it looks great. Again, lead inside's not too thick, so again, I think, you know, stripping that out for splicing is going to be pretty easy, which is a main factor, I guess. Yeah, looks really nice. Okay, next up's coated braid. Again, similar packaging. It looks great. I I've gone for 2 different, as I said before, you know, an 18 pound. I'm hoping, you know, that's going to be supple enough to go in things like my PVA bags. I feed, you know, fish commercials quite a bit as well. So, you know, on those method feeder balls, sometimes, you know, just something that's a little bit more rigid than completely uncoated braid is actually for me a necessity. So we'll see what that one's like. And again, gone for the £35. I mean, I'm not worried about the breaking strain. I tend to fish, if I'm carp fishing for bigger carp, you know, £15, you know, maximum of an £18 line anyway. So, you know, the fact it's 35, I'm not after the breaking strain. It's in the hope that's going to be a little bit more rigid, just to give me something to kick away. So we'll go have a quick look at these and get these open. Packaging again is good, nice and consistent with the branding. I've gone for an 18 and a 35, as I said before. I mean, for me, having something that's supple, that is still coated is quite important. There are a few lakes around in Norfolk, you know, very gravelly. I just think it adds just a little bit of extra protection as and when you need it. So I do like a coated braid, although I struggle to find one that's supple. So yeah, interesting. Again, you've got these lovely little quotes on the bottom about the coat, so that's obviously leading me on to getting these out and having a good look. Pretty similar. Again, you know, the diameters of these are surprising. You know, there is not a lot of difference in the diameter. I'm quite surprised, actually. I mean, certainly some of the heavier braids that I've used in my time, there's a real clear, thick sort of difference between the two. So I'm surprised, you know, there's not that much difference in there. First things first, this sounds bizarre, but the feel of these, I've never felt a coated braid like it. I will be honest, it's really, really smooth. You know, it feels quality. It's not like anything else I've used, I'll be honest. £18 is, as I hoped, you know, relatively, you know, supple. You know, it does hold its shape to a degree, but, you know, I definitely think that's going to be supple enough for bag use, and probably my method feeders as well. So, you know, I'm pleased to see that. £35 obviously looks a bit more rigid. You know, it holds its shape. Not as rigid as I thought it would be. I'll be fair. So yeah, I think that's going to work nicely. You know, I don't like having overly large hook lengths. I will be honest. I do like to try and keep mine shorter if I can. I tend to find with the really stiff sections, you know, they just kink up, and you end up with them sitting bizarrely on the surface as well, of the gravel or whatever you're fishing over. So I'm hoping, paired up with some putty blubs along this, I mean, that is actually quite supple. Should be great. Yeah, really looking forward to getting some rigs made up with these, and putting them to good use on the new syndicate. Nice product. Okay, last but not least, tungsten putty. I know there's going to be people out there that are just going to say tungsten putty. That's fine. I'd run out, so I needed some anyway. So I thought, what the hell, in for a penny, in for a pound. I quite like the comment on the front. I'll put a still on that one. I'm not going to probably read that one out, but that's hilarious. Well done, boys. Comes in a nice tin, metal, which is good. Again, good branding on it. Unscrewed lid, and again, it's got a nice non-stick paper inside. Well, unsurprisingly, it is green tungsten putty. I'm looking forward to getting this on the rigs. I mean, I watched some of the reels from Angling Direct in Norwich when Ali was down introducing this, and like I said, I missed it. Just couldn't get out. You know, work was far too busy for me that day, which is, to be honest, a real shame. But this stuff seems to stick incredibly well. I'll get it up on some rigs, and we'll see how it performs when we actually get down to the lake. But again, it's a nice product. You know, it just feels quality, to be fair. Brilliant. Nice bit of kit. Okay, well, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. What we'll do is we'll get making some rigs with the components we bought, and hopefully come back out very shortly with another video. Thanks again.